The story begins in the dark of the night near a bonfire. A girl approaches a guy named Ray to thank him for having them all out there for the party. She asks him if he wants to play, but he would rather watch. Ray walks over to a lady who looks upset. She looks at him and turns away. One member of the party sits alone, suddenly hearing a growling sound. A creature appears beside him, but the vision is blurred. However, we can tell it is big and ferocious, which means trouble for anyone around. It slashes the man's neck before it invades the party to attack another man. Seeing this beast, the people panic. It brutally attacks all of them and doesn't show mercy to anyone. 1 year later, we see a group of male friends riding together along a road. Ray is among them. So far, the story seems to revolve around two groups, one consisting of males and one of females. The guys engage in small talk. In the RV, an older woman named Marla comes out to greet the younger ones. She complains about the water closet on the vehicle. The next scene shows us the upset woman we saw earlier at the bonfire party. She is Evie, who gets approached by a news reporter named Naomi. She wants to talk to Evie about something, but the latter angrily tells her she had no comment last week and won't give a comment today. Naomi replies she has not asked her question. She inquires cautiously if Evie is thinking of selling a certain property. At this moment, a man takes Evie away, saving her from the pestering reporter. In another room, Evie is with the man, whose name is Bart. He is also Evie's husband. They are talking to two people who oppose them. One of them is Audra Rossi, telling Bart she doesn't think he is listening to what is being said. He retorts, saying he's all ears. The problem is that he doesn't like what he's hearing. Evie adds that none of them do. The man beside Audra is the mayor. He claims that the slaughter that happened last year cost everyone. He also tells Bart he should go to prison for 15 years for negligence alone. The slaughter cost $82,000 worth of damages. Audra says they all know what happened at the party. She tells the duo they have 90 days to pay the aforementioned amount. Bart assures her they will get the money, but the mayor doubts it. Outside, Bart expresses his frustration over what they have to do. Evie tells him they will fix the situation. Meanwhile, we see the group of travelers arriving at some place. They enter the local store and don't seem to be met with decent hospitality. We learn from the girl named Alex that they are a film crew. An officer there asks if they are good, to which Jillian sarcastically responds they are terrible. That is why they were sent to this location. Soon the sheriff greets them and Alex tells her they are headed to Wolf Hollow. The sheriff warns them not to stay out there too long after dark, because people get themselves into trouble quickly. This excites one of the crew members whilst having the opposite effect on another one. Eventually, the team gets back on the road. In the next scene, they arrive at their destination. The director, Beth, tells them all to get ready. Their star actress, Marla, behaves in the way spoiled elderly actresses do. She complains about not being ready in time. Close by, Bart meets Ray and hugs him. He asks Ray what he's doing there. Ray tells him he came back to look around. He introduces Alex to him, saying she is their producer. Additionally, she is Ray's girlfriend. Soon Evie arrives, fuming with anger. She rudely inquires who Ray's friends are and Ray tells her. Evie is upset that they showed up without a courtesy call, but Ray says it's his property too. She yells that the property belongs to Bart. The man intervenes to tell his wife it's okay, before dismissing her to go finish dinner. This does not quell her anger, and she stomps away. Bart follows her, telling her to calm down. Evie yells that she is calm, contradicting herself in the process. She is upset that Ray returned. She makes it clear that she doesn't trust Ray and wants to know who the new people are. Her husband says they have money, which is good for them. However, Evie wants them to leave. She calls Bart naive. He doesn't know he is being used by Ray. Bart does not believe that Ray would manipulate him like that. He also reminds her that they take care of their own. Once he leaves, Evie can't stop herself from crying. Following this, we see Ray at another location with one of the members, Benji. The latter likens the building to a vintage scarehouse. He thinks he could sell half of it and retire. Later on, the crew takes a walk with Bart. As they walk inside the woods, Beth gets scared by the sudden appearance of a skeleton on a pike. Ray tells her that kids joke around like this all the time in the area. It certainly adds an unnerving vibe. Upon arriving at their shooting destination, Marla says it's perfect. Bart tells Ray their parents would be proud of his coming back home, revealing they are brothers. Ray disappoints Bart by saying he's not back. He just thought Bart could use the money. Bart rhetorically asks him if he thinks he needs money. When Ray tells him to calm down, Bart mimics his wife by saying he is calm. He contradicts himself too. He firmly tells Ray that this is his home. Switching to Marla, she starts engaging in her spoiled star antics. No one is as impressed with her as she is with herself. Ironically, Bart exists on another level by not even knowing who she is. Marla haughtily informs him that she is a star who will be playing a nun in a church. She starts acting with a prop. While she gets in character, the crew warns her not to step further back because she is nearing to an edge. She pays no heed to them and eventually falls. So the crew rushes to her, observing that she's broken her leg. The elder woman demands to be helped. Meanwhile, Jillian and Beth argue over whose fault it is that Marla fell, rather than focusing on helping someone with a broken leg. As the team starts dealing with this unfortunate situation, an otherworldly being makes its way closer to them. Marla tells her people not to move her. Being overly dramatic, she tells them to let her perish. But Jillian moves Marla's injured leg, causing the latter to scream in pain. When they get Marla up, Alex tells her she needs to try and walk. The starlet taps Alex's nose in a belittling way, replying she takes directions very well. Walking through the woods, the group hears a scary growl. Jillian asks what it is and Bart warns them not to move. Beth asks if that was a bear. Bart seems to know quite well what it is, because he instructs Ray to use a certain trail to leave with the gang. He decides to stay there alone, pointing his rifle ahead. Beth is given a rifle too. The group hears a howl this time, prompting Marla to imitate it. The creature keeps moving towards them. In panic, Beth trips. As she falls, she accidentally shoots Marla in her eye, giving her a mortal wound. This is merely the beginning of their struggle. Suddenly, the beast appears to attack one of the ladies. A man among them is brave enough to shoot the creature with his rifle, yet it does not seem to cause any damage to it. The beast rips the arm off another member. Jillian tries to tend to the first lady who got attacked. She tells Jillian she is scared. Some of the other team members get to the RV. Beth attempts to start it, but it doesn't budge. There is oil dripping out from its bottom. Soon the rest of the members enter the RV. Alex punches Beth for her carelessness that injured Marla. This causes a fight to take place. Amidst the squabble, Beth is smart enough to tell her opponent they have more important things to worry about. Alex wants the police to decide what to do with Beth. The producer forcefully tells her she is in charge. Outside the RV, Bart asks the group if they all are okay there. Once Alex tells him to get inside, he says the RV isn't going anywhere. We see Beth getting restrained inside the vehicle. Bart randomly reveals that Evie gets like this. She got very upset that Ray showed up. His words make Alex ask if the creature is Evie. Ignoring her question, Bart tells Ray to get out so they can get this over with. Ray does not want to go anywhere with him. Alex retorts that no one is going anywhere until they learn what is going on in this chaotic time. She wants him to know she is not losing any more of her people. Bart angrily yells that she knows nothing about having people of her own. Ray tells his brother he doesn't belong out there with Bart. The people he is with now are his family. Bart oddly replies with a quote from the Three Little Pigs, saying he will huff and he will puff. He starts talking in a distorted voice and moving around strangely. Soon enough, his hand transforms into a claw. After his head transforms, he howls like a wolf. The man who got his arm ripped out acknowledges that Ray's brother is a werewolf. Instead of being frightened, he weirdly calls this horrific situation cool. The next scene leads us to a police station. The creature has reached the premises, creating a power failure for the police force. As the police are trying to understand what is going on, a civilian is grabbed by the monster, causing the poor victim to scream. Audra, who is at the station with the mayor, asks him if he heard that. The police are on alert mode, searching for what could be the cause of the unexpected problem. As they separate, the beast attacks some of them too. It also appears in the room with Audra and the mayor, tragically ending their lives. The remaining officers call a policewoman who is at a gas station store. She is Mills and is being urged to return. They inform her about a big wolf terrorizing the police station. She learns it brutalized Audra and the mayor. Mills tries to leave the store, but the door is locked. She tells the man who works there to open it. Somehow he is no longer there to answer her. She searches for him and hears a growl. The man appears behind her to give her a forceful smack that sends her flying back. He is no longer completely human, possessing some physical traits of a wolf. He tells Mills that Wolf Hollow belongs to them. He uses her radio to reach out to someone. As he does, he makes the mistake of taking his eyes off the officer. Mills takes revenge by impaling the partial werewolf, bringing him down. Back at the RV, Ray gets asked by the terrified group if they could shoot their way out of this. He informs his friends that normal guns will not stop the werewolf. There are two ways to bring the beast to its demise. One of them is by stabbing it with a silver dagger. The weapon lies at the location they already visited. The second way is by decapitating the beast. Jillian decides to go with another member to get the dagger. It is in the location where Beth got scared by the skeleton. Benji joins them. Meanwhile, Alex starts to talk to a man on video call. There is something suspicious about him, and he tells her to call him back. Thus, Alex calls the police to ask for help with their current crisis. Switching to the trio, they arrive at the location of the skeleton, and Jillian retrieves the silver dagger. The lady who got attacked by the werewolf meets them there. She is severely wounded. She complains to Jillian that the latter was supposed to save her. Soon she starts talking oddly like the other werewolves. Scared, Jillian drops the special dagger before being jumped at by the lady. Benji tries to save Jillian by picking up the dagger and stabs the attacker. This results in her running away. Jillian's friends urge her to stand up, but she is sadly deceased. Following this, the sheriff arrives at the RV with her partner. She yells out to Bart and Evie. She also hints that she knows what they are. When she tells Bart he could go to another place to chew on people if he's hungry. Once Ray exits the RV, he says he just wants to get his friends out of there. The sheriff says she knew his return would be trouble. Hence, she shoots him with a shotgun. She's angry that many people have lost their lives simply due to him not being able to work stuff out with his family. Consequently, she yells out to Bart and Evie, telling them to stop their lethal spree. Suddenly, Bart appears as a werewolf, inflicting a mortal wound on the sheriff's partner. The sheriff responds by shooting the beast. Alas, the werewolf claims her too. At this moment, Benji returns with his friend. He tells Alex to take the silver dagger, before Bart jumps on him with his friend. The one-armed man exits the RV and collects the shotgun to fire at Bart. We see Benji's friend lose his life. Benji likely joins him. Inside the RV, Ray tells his girlfriend he's never been shot. It makes him mad that his streak has been broken. Alex's mind is elsewhere though. She starts to incessantly ask if anyone has seen Jillian. When no one answers her, she breaks down into tears. She also yells that no one else is going to lose their life. When she asks where the dagger is, Beth reveals that she has it. This film does not happen without her, she adds. Furthermore, she says she never wanted Ray with them and Alex's film career is over. Alex replies that movies don't matter at a time like this. But they do to Beth, for they are her life. Pushed to the edge with Beth's hostility, Alex jumps on her, and the two squabble on the floor. It doesn't take long for Alex to throw her out of the RV. Ray tells his girlfriend he has the same condition his brother has. He thought he was normal, but he isn't. He asks her if she wants to help him burn this place down. Meanwhile, Beth gets captured outside. Of all the people, she yells out to Alex for help. Ray comes outside, where Bart and Evie approach him in their human forms. Evie claims that Ray's friends have witnessed too much. Bart adds they are taking him away from his family. Ray tells them he is back, and he is one of them. But Evie does not believe him. She tells her husband not to listen to him. Ray attempts to prove his words by getting on his knees, repeating that he's home. This act wins Bart over. He calls Ray his baby brother. His naivety gets him into trouble, when suddenly Ray acquires long, sharp nails that he uses to attack Bart. At this instant, the one-armed man opens the RV door and throws a grenade out to create an impressive explosion. Alex joins in on the action by firing the shotgun. As this unfolds, Beth gets bitten by one of Bart's friends and soon transforms into a werewolf herself. Alex deals with Bart's friend by stabbing her with the silver dagger. Unfortunately, now she is confronted by a werewolf. The one-armed man comes to her rescue by running to the werewolf and stabbing it with something. The werewolf responds by ripping his other arm off. It follows this with on the man, making him fall. That is a serious case of adding insult to injury. Feeling brave, Alex directs herself toward the beast and uses the dagger on it. The werewolf's innards fall on her. Once she joins Ray, the man with no arms sits up, miraculously still alive. He says he is done creating indie movies because they are too much work. When Bart appears in his werewolf form, Ray runs away with Alex into a mine. In there, Ray looks sadly at his girlfriend, telling her she knows what has to happen. He cannot remain alive. Bart enters, and they split up. The werewolf follows his brother. Afterward, the police arrive. Alex, now on her own, lights a flare outside. She drops a few of them on the ground. We see the final werewolf walking behind her, but it doesn't see her. She runs back into the mine, where the beast follows her. Alex tries scaring it with a dagger by thrusting it repeatedly at the werewolf. However, it knocks her down. At this crucial moment, Ray enters. Despite not being a complete werewolf, he is able to fight the beast. Alex helps by impaling the werewolf with a silver. In the frantic turn of events, she accidentally stabs Ray too. As the man succumbs to his injury, Alex tells him she's sorry and pleads for him to stay alive. At this moment, Mills enters the mine to see the duo in their fatigued state. The final scene has Alex sitting in an ambulance with the only other survivor, the man with no arms. She is in a state of distress after having lost Ray. An officer draws near, asking her if she is okay. She tells him that she is not. Once Alex sits in a car with the officer, he tells her they will go to another county. There, they will reach out to the rest of the family to see what they know. Shocked by this news, she questions what he means by the rest of the family. She looks out the window and sees 3 people oddly looking at them. They are breathing heavily, like they might be werewolves too.